Mentioned pit lane. I'll tell you what, Ben Atkins is going to lose another stone. There he is, Hayden in second place, in front of now third place man Chris Walker. But Steve Hislop, while the rest of them trip each other up,
he's escaping.
Hislop is getting away. There's no man I would rather see win a race other than John Reynolds, and he's already done that today.
Yep.
So Hislop deserves one. Remember last year, well, the Yamaha's not on great form. Of course, Neil Mackenzie was their main runner. He'd won 3 British Championships for them up until last year's new introduction of the R7 750 Yamaha. Now they've got the thing going, haven't they?
Just a little bit, Keith. And Hislop, well, can the opposition reel him in from this distance?
There's a good question.
I doubt it. I really do doubt it.
Well, Hizzy is away at the front, and certainly it's all going to be down to tyres in the closing stages
Good
here,
point.
depending on what people have done. I mean, 28 laps around this little tiny track. It's still quite warm, considering what time of year it is here, and it's going to be down. If anybody's going to save tyres, I would say it's Hizzy. His style is so smooth, so economical with the throttle. No, that belies his position, of course.
But look at John Reynolds. He's dropped back a good way. Is that tyres, do you think, that's got JR going backwards?
No, that was John Reynolds going through the screen at Druids just a few laps ago, actually. John Reynolds got it a little bit crossed up and poked his head through the fiberglass. So
right then, John.
That's why you see John going backwards for a second. I'm sure he's got his second win now, and he'll be back on it in a minute.
It takes an ex-racer to tell me that sort of thing, you know.
But Hizzy is out front. Hodgson's still hanging in. There is Reynolds on the back on bike number 3. But it's Hayden you've got to watch out for. Hayden, well, he had a good ride in race 1. This time, though, he's something like on the pace of Steve Hislop. He's got a bit of reeling in to do, though.
Hayden 5th in the first race. Is he closing him down a little?
Well,
I think
we'll have
he
to count
is.
that off now. He certainly looked close then. It's difficult to say whether the camera angle closed it up a little bit. Out of clearways, fastest corner on the track. This is where this man, Steve Hislop, race leader, is pretty good. 12 coming into view. That is Paul Jones, ex of Aprilia fame last year on the 250. Now he's running a Superbike and being lapped by the 2 main men. Hayden comes through on bike 5, but it's still Hizzy on 8 that leads.
And that gap is, that's the closest they get on the track at Druids to slow his corner. Concertina's together, but Hayden is definitely closer. Paul Jones going backwards.
And Hodgson coming through as well, so Hodgson's still on the pace as well. Number 4, that's Hodgson of INS Ducati fame, but it's still, yes, he is closing in. Hayden is definitely closing him down. Hizzy will know. We'll be able to hear it very soon as well.
Yes.
So we've got 4-cylinder 750 Yamaha leads 996cc V-twin Ducati, the thundering perfect Ducati, right there in second place. It was his teammate who won race 1. Wouldn't it be a perfect day for Ben Atkins, June and Cass if they manage to do the double?
And third place man Chris Walker, he's going to have problems because Neil Hodgson is closing in on him as well. We have 2 distinct dices going on here. Everything could change.
Looked to me like Chris Walker really made that Suzuki work early on, and possibly he's paid the penalty in tyres. I don't know, we'll have to try and ask him afterwards. Looking up towards Clearways corner there. They come through Kidney onto Clearways. This is where this man is so smooth. But Hayden loves Brands Hatch. He's very, very good here. The Buckinghamshire boy from Berkhamsted looks very good. And he's closing all the time as we look back down at the back markers, but certainly it looks to me like Hayden's closing, and he is getting even closer. Once he gets a sniff of Steve Hislop's aftershave, that's it, Izzy. You've got trouble coming your way.
You're not wrong. Mind you, as we always say, catching him and passing him are 2 completely different things.
Yeah, but Hayden is very good at Brands. And we look down there at Stalker, I worry about Chris Walker even when he's
yes, and he's not on his own, because hiding behind him was Neil Hodgson in very close formation. But there they are.
Where's it going to be done then, I wonder? Is it going to be at the end of the straight at Paddock Hill Bend where Hayden catches Hislop? Hislop's look pretty good. We're along the bottom straight now as they're craning their necks over the fence at the back of pit lane to watch Hizzy on bike 8 leading 5. That is Hayden, James Hayden. Girlfriend Joe is stood on pit wall looking pretty tense indeed. We can see why.
Yes. And I can't pick a difference between these 2 at the moment.
No,
they
both
look
very classy
both
riders.
smooth, and here comes Hodgson. No, fooled me.
I was going to say camera angle there. Hodgson a bit too far back to make the pass at the moment. Good to see Neil Hodgson, and I don't mind putting my money where my mouth is. I had Hodgson on for a bit of a series win this year. I've got to say, mind you, I did last year as well, so Neil, you let me down there, boy.
He won the first race last year, though. And John Reynolds is back up on the back of I think the 3rd, 4th place dice. He is.
It doesn't matter about busted screen. John Reynolds is still there. Remember, he was British champion a few years ago. He knows how to do it. He knows how to win races, that's for sure. And he's already won 1 this year.
the only one there's been this year, so 100% so far for John Reynolds. He's going to have to go some to make it a double today, though, because Steve Hislop looking smooth.
It's his turn, certainly.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
Out of these two, Hizzy and Hayden, really. Hizzy, well, he's had some bad luck over the years. Basically got fired by Kawasaki a couple of years ago, somewhat unfairly, I reckon. As through comes Hodgson, not he
fooled you that time.
He did indeed. Well, that's because round the outside I've got my eye on John Reynolds as well, who's right there with Hodgson. Hodgson's got to get right on it, or is he going to get mucked by two people?
Right, put yourself in Steve Hislop's saddle. Do you want to be first at these back markers or second?
Yeah, first, absolutely.
Every time?
Let's cut through them, let's push them out of the way, let's give him a big elbow. Way to go. Steve Hislop, though, will cut through them like the proverbial hot knife. And just watch him at work. Mind you, having said that, James, goes, that's Hipwell, I think, isn't it?
That is number 88, Suzuki, indeed.
So he's out of the race.
And
he might have seen this lot coming and decided that's enough for me, I'm out of here.
Very wise move, Mr. Hipwell.
Well, look, I'll tell you what.
He's done it all right.
He's raised his game for it. You can tell he's trying real hard. He's making the rear end of that Yamaha start to spin and sit down out of Clearways corner, the fastest corner, as we come into the back markers now. 29, well, that is Jim Hodgson on the Len Anderson Racing Kawasaki. And look at how many they've got to cut through. Well, Hodgson might be, he could actually mug Hizzy here. If Hizzy blinks for a second or backs the throttle off for even lesser time, he is going to be mugged by Hayden. Hayden will jump on him from a great height.
So that you're saying that maybe it's not the advantage being first, or you'd still rather be first?
Well, it's a bit of a luck of the draw when you've got 5 back markers to get through. It's all right when you've got 1, you just barge them out the way. But when you've got 5, it's a bit of a sequence, isn't it? A bit like slalom skiing, really, without sticks.
And look at Hayden. He's right in the wheel trap for the leader, Hislop.
Yeah.
That's a back marker. Whoa, bunches of back markers.
He looks like he's lining himself up to go around the outside of them, which is probably not the best way to go, but he's up the inside now, and so's Hayden up the inside as well. So Hayden does exactly what I thought he might do. He might have hesitated very slightly or not been on the gas. Absolute. Plater's out. That's Plater. Goddard's teammate is out now. Well, maybe Hizzy hesitated for a second there, and Hayden, look at that. And he's put one between them as well. So Hayden, not only did he outthink Hizzy, he just had the back markers fall perfectly for him. Hayden is getting under him. Look at this. He's absolutely shoving them out of the way. Hayden got them falling just right for him. It's like poker. If the cards don't fall dead right, you've had it. You're out of here. You've lost all your money, or you win big loads. And Hayden is right on now for winning the second race today. Hizzy has got to try and recover and then get past Hayden. It's a tall task. We're in the closing stages of this race, and James Hayden, well, a little bit of luck went his way possibly, or was it Hizzy's bad luck that went his way?
That's just the question I was going to ask you, Keith. Just the question. Saw Steve Plater, pedestrian in a hurry.
The fact he's kept his helmet on means he doesn't want to talk to anybody, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, can Steve Hislop bite back at the Red Bull man, the new recruit to Ducati? He has, because Hayden looks as smooth as Hizzy did when he was leading.
I see another grey hair on Ben Atkins' head.
And that is Walker coming to the back of that bunch of back markers, bringing Neil Hodgson with him.
I'll tell you what, if Walker don't clear him, nobody will. Hodgson! Oh, that was audacious. Down the inside, did he get him?
I think that was John Reynolds he was retaking.
Well, I don't know about that, you know. We'll keep an eye on that, but that was definitely a great move from Neil Hodgson. Good on you.
That's good to see him back to his real form as we look at another Ducati rider, the Red Bull man. You're all steadied.
Hayden has got this covered now. He's pulling away. That was Hodgson, I think, that's got third. Has he got third? We'll have to see. I'm sure he has got third place. Hodgson is looking real. Yes, he has. He mugged Chris Walker. And superb stuff from Hodgson. That's a good ride from him.
Yep, John Reynolds still there on that dice as well. As we look for the leader, there he goes. He's that's Hodgson and Walker.
It was Walker with his feet off the footrest as ever.
Surprise, we should have guessed that,
shouldn't I? That's the second time today. Maybe he's got slippery footrests. So, back markers, not anymore. Through goes Chris Walker, and Hodgson, I think, right in his wheel track.
Absolutely tracking him all the way.
It was Stalker that made the gap, and Hodgson took advantage of it.
Thank you very much. You've done the work.
Race leader, number 5, James Hayden, on for his first race win of the year. There'll be many more, I'm sure, but
looking good.
So good here. Well, the pole man, Steve Hislop, not been his day. He's been fast all year long, but when it counts, over the line, it is still Hislop in second place.
Well, and he was, what, third in the first race, but my sums say that I think, if we're still where we are, that John Reynolds will go to the top of the championship after 2 races.
Wouldn't surprise me.
That's where I'm...
It depends exactly where he finishes here at the moment. He's still got a bit of a battle going on, but certainly Steve Hislop is looking...
I'm not even going to try and give...
as well. I was going to say, your mathematics might be a bit wayward there, but we'll wait and see. Here's a race leader, Hayden, bike number 5. A double for Reve Red Bull. if not for any individual rider. Well, I'll leave that till later in the year, I should think. But look at Hizzy!
Oh, who's that on the Honda in the way? 99.
Trying to get past him. Hizzy gets underneath the
It's
back.
Dave Hill, that was.
Well, Dave Hill's had his bike for a few minutes at the end of the day. He's had that new SP1 just for a few minutes, and really, he's got no sprockets to change gearing with, no wheels to put different tyres on. He was absolutely praying the weather wouldn't change, because if it did, he wouldn't have a wheel in his bike. He's had it less time than just about any other Honda rider.